Hey everybody, today is Thursday. It's really day 2 of me doing this blog series, but I kind of skipped yesterday. We had a fantastic trunk or treat at my church, Adventure Christian Church in J-Town. We had about 50 cars. Even though the rain was out there, we probably had 300 or 400 people come out. It really was a fantastic day. But kind of going alongside the blog that I wrote this morning, I'd like to highlight one of the best, most influential changes that I've made in my life since I really started to try to be better about 6, 7, 8 weeks ago. Was I have totally revamped my morning routine. And I think that having a good morning routine is so important to start the day out right. And there's some preparation that goes into having a good morning routine. It's not something that, for me, I could just get up one day and say, I'm going to do this. The morning routine and setting up for a good morning starts the night before. And it starts with knowing the process that I want to go through. So my morning routine starts the night before by setting up my area. So I like to do a reading every morning from the Big Book and from the Bible. And I like to have my space set up, which is generally at the kitchen table. So I'll put everything out there the night before at the kitchen table. I'll put my laptop there because generally through this process I will get inspired, and that's where a lot of my blog posts come in. So I'll get my space set up. I'll have my K-Cup in the Keurig. I'll have my keto bottles set up so that I can easily make my shake in the morning. And I've got all this stuff done the night before. So I normally wake up anywhere from 4:50 to 5:15, and I've got a little bit of a window there because that window works for me. I can hit the snooze button once if I feel like it. So I don't feel like getting up that early is really being forced for me. It's something that I know that that's what I want to do, so I get up early, and sometimes I'll even naturally get up before my alarm will even go up. And that's really a great day to start. And getting up early for me really helps me have a morning that I can get the things that I want to get done, and I don't feel rushed, and I don't feel hurried throughout the morning. And for me, setting up that morning makes it so my day is not rushed, my day is not hurried. I think that a lot of the stress that we can put on ourselves in the morning can add a lot of frustration to our lives, and that frustration can carry on throughout the day, and it can come out in a lot of different ways. If you start your morning bad, it puts you in a bad mood, and sometimes that funk is difficult to get out of, and I don't like to be in a funk. It radiates throughout me. So I get up at the 4:50, I do my shower, shave, I poop. Everybody poops. But I get all that stuff done. That's all normal stuff. You're going to do that anyway. So I don't, there isn't a whole lot of focus on how I do that sort of stuff. But once I get ready, the work really starts when I sit down at the kitchen table. And I've got this deal with myself that really most of the time I can get through my morning activities in 12 to 15 minutes. And it's incredible what 12 to 15 minutes of investment in my morning can have an impact on the next 12 hours of my day. So I sit down at the kitchen table. I do some selective readings from the Big Book. I might pull up a Bible app on my phone. I use the YouVersion Bible app, and sometimes it's just the version of the day. Sometimes I might do. I might just pick out something at random, but this can be very, very short. And then that really gets me in a place where I think that both of those books really teach us that the focus really isn't about us, that we are just a player in the game, and we're not the coach of the game, we're not the one that's running the show, and that's important for me to set up to where I go into the next phase, which is prayer time. And prayer time for me is a process that was taught to me by my pastor, Richard Mosqueda. You might have heard him from a Genesis Diamonds commercial. But he taught me a long time ago that there's a prayer deal that you can do that's called ACTS. It's an acronym for adoration, confession, thanksgiving, and supplication. And so this prayer process, you start out with adoration. So it's talking about your role effectively. So it builds up God in the position that He is as the guy running the show. He's somebody that you can look to. He's the coach, if you will. Um, and this puts me in my place. I'm not the supreme being. I'm not the one. I'm not God. And so reminding myself of this helps to start out to get that selfish feeling that's part of me. It's just something that's kind of innate with, I think, a lot of people. It gets that knocked down a little bit. Puts me in my place, and that's really where I want to be to start the day. Um, Once I go through that adoration section, I go into confession. And for me, every day, something that I confess to, a sin that I confess to, is selfishness, because I tend to default back to that, and I look at a lot of the things that's gone on in my life that maybe haven't been so favorable, and a lot of those things can be summed up by me being selfish and me being in a place where I think that I'm more important than I am. Um, and and I'm not that important, and it's okay to not be that important. It's fantastic, actually. It takes a lot of the stress off, and that helps me a whole lot go through my day. Thanksgiving comes next, and this is an area that really makes me have gratitude for some of the things that I might otherwise take for granted. The gift of waking up every day is a fantastic gift. That taking breath into our lungs is something that we overlook every day. Um, having the blessings that we have, a roof over our head, food to eat, warmth, being able to have fellowship at something that I did last night with this trunk or treat, seeing kids that are just so happy and joyous. What a gift that is! What a gift to be able to just do things for other people. So being thankful is such a good thing. Having gratitude for what you have, um, because society tells us so much that it's about getting more stuff. It's about stuff. It's about accumulating stuff, and all that is stuff. And you can have all the stuff in the world, and it doesn't lead to happiness. It doesn't lead to fulfillment. It's just stuff. That's all it is. So once I get through that Thanksgiving section, I go into supplication, and then this is where I'm really asking for prayer, and I really try to be conscious to not ask for things for myself. Prayer time's not about asking for stuff to get, or for wishing for things to happen to us, because I found that most of the time the things that I want for me really isn't stuff that I need, and it's stuff that's not going to lend to me being happier or feeling better about myself. So, I really limit prayer to myself to asking for wisdom. The Bible says that if you ask for wisdom, God will grant wisdom. And I think that wisdom every day helps me to make better decisions for the people around me, for my family, for the people that work for me. Um, it helps me just be a better person to be able to make decisions from a wiser standpoint. I also generally ask for myself for patience, um, because sometimes I find that when I am impatient with people, I'm putting my needs ahead of someone else's, and that's not a place that I want to be. I don't want to be somewhere like that. So being patient and being wise really helps me. I look at the people around me in my life. Facebook can throw a lot of people that you don't know, but a lot of people vent on Facebook that they need prayer for things, and you can see people in your lives that may be going through things. So I try to pick out several people every morning and pray for them, and pray for some needs that they have and that they want. And I pray for my wife, and I pray for my daughter, and I pray for my family, and all this stuff puts me back into a place where I'm knowing my role, and my role is is as a leader of my household. It's as a leader at work, at my business. Um, and I'm going to be in that role whether I'm doing a good job at it or bad. But by doing these things in the morning, I'm setting myself and putting myself in a position where I can do that role much better. And I think that the confidence and everything that goes into this, I think that it radiates a little bit better, and I think that people can see it. And then when people can see that I'm in a better mood, a lot of times you get that pushed back on you. And when you approach a situation and you're in a bad mood, you're going to get that bad mood back to you. Um, that's just, I think, the way that human nature is for a lot of people. So basically, I've spent 12 to 15 minutes doing these things. The last thing that I will do, and I can't say that I'm super consistent about this. I try to do this several times a week, but I'll sit down in meditation time. And meditation time is really a time for me to sit and be still. Um, I will do this in a dark room, and which is easy when I'm getting up in the morning early like this because it's dark. They call the time before the sunrise is the divine hour. This is the 5 and 6 o'clock time frame, and everything is so quiet. Before kids get up, before your spouse gets up, the house can be so quiet. The dogs aren't even up. Stella's right here, and she hasn't even gotten up for the morning. And so this divine hour can really help you sit down and be still, and you. For me, it's concentrating on my breathing, and it's concentrating on filling my lungs, filling my abdomen, taking it in, and then breathing it out. And you can feel stress melt away. I can feel being centered just a little bit better. And then when I do it in the morning, it helps me throughout the day to where if I do get agitated, if I do get angry, it's much easier for me to pause and for me to practice these things again, which helps get me in that right frame of mind again to make the right decision. So for anybody that's looking to make a change or to be better, I would highly recommend getting a morning routine set up. And it's just a matter of taking action and doing it. It doesn't cost you anything to do these things, but when you get up at a time where you're not rushed, where you're not hurried throughout the day, I will guarantee you that your day will go better and that you will be more effective. I really stress being more effective over being efficient, because if you're effective, then that means that you are impacting better in your circle of influence. Everybody has their circle of influence. I don't care who you are. So take a look at that. If you have any questions or if you need some help kind of getting a morning routine set up, I'd love to help. These are gifts that have been given to me, and these are things that I want to be able to share with other people. MyTechFit.com is the website. You can email me, jason@mytechfit.com. I'm on Facebook. The page is MyTechFit. My personal Facebook is facebook.com/mud.jason. Friend me on there. Shoot me a message. Would love to chat. So it's Thursday. Have a great Thursday. I hope that you can find a way to be better and to increase your happiness, your influence. Just have a great day today. Thanks, everybody.